time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever adventuring through the rainforest at the Butterfly Palace. And Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
And here we are. We made it to Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
'Tis the weekend.
It's fantastic.
After you work a little bit. And then
Close.
'tis the weekend.
Very close.
All right, we're going to begin with following up some of the election news from Tuesday. Some of them were closer than I would have thought. So here's an interesting one. Taney County voters said yes to an 18-cent property tax levy to pay for a new public library center in the county, but it only passed by 46 votes.
Very close.
Very close. But again, it's a yes. That means the average homeowner will pay about $59 per year. The current Taney Hills Library in Branson is privately funded and cannot continue to afford to operate after the end of this calendar year. So with this new money, the goal is to get a new library that is publicly funded within the next 2 to 3 years, because they have to save the money from the tax levy in order to get the building. So they don't know yet whether they're going to move into an existing building somewhere or build a brand new one. But either way, it's on the way eventually. Also, at Lake of the Ozarks, a tax levy to pay for firefighters narrowly failed in the election this week. The Lake Ozark Fire Protection District was asking taxpayers to pay for station maintenance, new equipment, as well as recruiting and retaining firefighters. The tax increase lost by fewer than 40 votes.
Wow.
So two just super close ones that I thought were worth mentioning. Firefighters are now looking at grants as a possible funding means.
Well, it's interesting because typically August elections don't do very well when it comes to turnout. So few votes made the difference in both of those. I mean,
right.
Less than 50 in both of them.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
Right.
But it's just a lot of people don't show up for those. You know, it's an off year. It's not a political season vote in August. So maybe that'll change minds going forward one way or the other.
Right.
About the importance of showing up. After an investigation, the feds have released their final report into a collision between an Amtrak train and a dump truck in Minden, Missouri. That happened in June of last year. The National Transportation Safety Board says the probable cause of that crash was the 54-year-old driver of the dump truck. He drove into the train crossing as the train was coming through it, traveling nearly 90 miles an hour. It caused several cars from the train to derail. In all, 4 people were killed, including the driver of the truck. Nearly 150 people were hurt on that train. So that is the final. That's the final idea of what happened.
Right.
That came from the feds. As inflation continues to take a big chunk out of everybody's monthly budget, more and more, this is sad, more and more Americans are using credit cards and putting debt on credit cards. In fact, credit card debt just hit a brand new all-time record high, never been higher than right now. In total, Americans now have more than $1 trillion. It's a number that you can't even fathom, $1 trillion. More than $1 trillion of credit card debt racked up, all of us combined. The second quarter alone saw balances jump by almost $50 billion. And when you get to numbers that huge, the increase monthly and quarterly is insanity, like what we see with the national debt. And whatever trillion that is, 37 trillion or something, that just grows. You can watch it. It's just by millions of dollars growing.
Gosh.
Crazy.
All right. In other news, Disney Plus is now planning to crack down on password sharing. So that comes as the streaming service reports another drop in subscribers for the second straight quarter. Disney's also planning to raise prices for its ad-free version of Disney Plus and Hulu, jumping to $14 and $18 respectively in the coming months. Of course, Netflix recently started cracking down on password sharing as well. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. They should, right? It's their company. They can do what they want. All right. If you're from here, you already know this. If you're not from here and you're just stumbling upon this, let me be the first to tell you. Branson is getting some national recognition for its live music scene. Based on a national poll by cheapoticketing.com, they have placed Branson as the number 5 in its ranking of America's best live music scene, considered a hidden gem. So that means places like Nashville and New Orleans are not in this list because they're not hidden gems because everybody knows about them.
Gotcha.
So this is hidden gems. And Branson brings in number 5. So not too shabby. The group surveyed 3,000 live music lovers to create a ranking of best under the radar live music destinations.
Well, won't be that way for long. I mean, Terry Bradshaw's in town singing, so.
Terry, oh yeah, he's the football guy.
The football
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Okay. Also, let me tell you this. You don't care, but I care deeply. Stillwater, Oklahoma, home of Garth Brooks. Any Garth Brooks fans? Yes, I saw you at the concert. He got his start in Stillwater, Oklahoma. They came in at number 25. So Branson number 5, Stillwater number 25.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I care deeply.
It's impressive.
Yes. Garth and Sandy. They still have their tree. There's a tree that says Garth and Sandy. It's still there. You can go see it if you want.
They have a tree that says their name?
They carved it.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
carved with like a pocket knife.
I think they're divorced now.
I know. But the tree's still there.
Okay. All right. That's something. Hey, a good time's going to be had tonight at Rutledge Wilson Farm Park in Springfield. They're offering a great evening of catch and release fishing, which, man, our boy is going to go nuts over that. The cow.
Don't tell him.
There's a cow train. We'll be out there all night fishing. There's a cow train, a bounce house, campfire as well. You can bring your own food to cook, s'mores, right? Fishing and s'mores, and he'll never leave.
That's true. S'mores and hot dogs.
That is happening tonight, 6 to 9. You have to call ahead of time to register, though. They need to know who's coming and how many people. So call the park board, right, to register.
Yep.
Do that sometime today as early as possible if you can. $10 if you have your own gear, $15 if you need to rent some of the stuff from them to fish.
Right.
So that'll be a good time.
Yes. And finally, mark your calendars for this one. I know a lot of companies do this, different businesses around town and individuals, but registration is now open for the St. Jude Walk Run, which is happening on Saturday, September 16th. So you have about a month to prepare for that. And part of that is getting your team together and then fundraising primarily online. And all the money used or all the money raised is used for families who find themselves in need of St. Jude. Because if you go there, you get it free of charge because the good people of the Ozarks and elsewhere donate to make that happen.
That's really amazing how that works.
Yes. I'm actually doing the St. Jude half marathon this year. There's 4 of us total. And
4 of your friends.
4 of my friends.
4 total people.
4 of my friends. Our group, I should say, our team. We have a team of 4, possibly 5. I don't know if one of them might not be doing the half, though. Anyway, 2 of our 4 were actually impacted by St. Jude. So it's kind of crazy because what are the odds? 50% of our group,
They utilize the services of St. Jude. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, every parent prays to not have to do that, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And man, what a difference they make.
No doubt.
All right.
So, yeah, there you go. That's your Friday news.
The weekend is here. We've been out of town this week. We've been in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where we're coming to you from right now, where it's been hot. Turns out you can get a good cheap plane ticket to Scottsdale this time of year. Who knew?
Yeah, the heat doesn't bother us. Ethan lived in the desert for multiple years, and I like hot weather. So I'm like $59 on Allegiant. Yes, please. Yes, please.
And it wasn't too hot. We went to the Grand Canyon. That was nice and cool.
Yeah.
Went to Sedona. That was fantastic.
There is no Arizona. Anybody? Sedona song.
But we had a fantastic time. Our kids are all at camp for the week, so we had an opportunity and said, "Well, why would we stay home?"
I know. I feel like it's our first date in 14 years or something. I was like, "This is the best date." It just keeps going.
So we've decided to send our kids to camp every week.
Yeah.
We just got to find a different camp somewhere across the country to ship our kids off to.
We miss them like crazy, actually, every day.
All right. But back on Monday, we will be back in our regular spots, and we hope to see you then. Have a great, great weekend, and we'll be back home soon.
Bye.